Alright, today we're going to run some wiring. I'll show you some of the things that we've got laid out and how we're going to proceed. So here are some of the parts that I have. I've got a switch, receptacle box, a couple of receptacles, and a couple of covers for the receptacle, and also a last receptacle. So what we're going to do is we are going to come down and we're going to put a box next to here. That's going to be our switch. We're going to run a line all the way around our microwave refrigerator into our bench seating. We'll put a couple of outlets here. One will be for the shore power that we can plug our microwave and refrigerator in, and then one will go into the inverter. So I've got some tools and wiring and all that good stuff. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the countertop so I can have access behind everything. Get all my wiring run, a couple of holes I need to punch for ventilation in behind the microwave and refrigerator into our bench seating area so we can run our exhaust fan. So let me get all that set up and then we'll start hooking everything up. Alright, so we do have quite the mess going on here. So I went ahead and drilled my hole over here for my wires. It's going to go down, and I run that through, tapped into the wall. It's running around, going down through the bottom of the cabinet, and it will be coming out on this side. I also tapped in a couple of vent holes for the microwave, and I installed the outlet on the back. And then down here I also put a couple of vent holes in the bottom, and also here on the side that we will, when we put our exhaust fan in, that should draw out any heat that's in this compartment and the refrigerator. Okay, so before I go any farther, my OCD is kicking in. Gotta clean up. Alright, let me get that taken care of. Okay, so we have our cable run, and we've got it running through, and we've coming out on this side. We also have our electrical box here, in which the microwave and the refrigerator are now connected to the box. So at this point I can reinstall the sink, get the countertop back on, and I think that may be the last time I need to remove it. So now would be a good time to get ready to install that sink. So we'll think about fastening that down permanently, and then we can start running our wire. Well, our outlets. How's that? Okay, so this is going to be under the bench, and we have our vent holes for our ventilation, so we can ventilate our bench seat here for the inverter when it gets a little bit warm. And we also have our box here installed. It's just a plastic box. Got some wires. Now we're getting ready to wire in our outlet, which will be this bad boy right here. We'll get this installed, put the plate on, and we'll call this one good for the moment. I do want to put probably a Romax through here, and probably have an outlet right here, and that way I can run a coffee maker and stuff like that. So let me get this one wired in. So we have three wires. We have the neutral, we have the black, which is hot, and the green is ground. And so for our outlet, the gold is always hot, and the silver is always neutral, and of course the green is ground. So we're going to tie that in, make sure the top is top, and put our cover on. Then this outlet will be finished. Alright, so our outlet is installed, and this is going to be for AC, the shore power. So whenever we're plugged into 120, then we can take our cord, we can plug that into here, and we have microwave and refrigerator. whenever we're not on shore power. And we can take and put that into our inverter and microwave and refrigerator. So we'll give that a shot and we'll see how well that works. And now all we have to do is wire up our switch over here, tie it into our electrical panel box, and give it a test. So for our GFCI, we are going to tie into, so we have our hot coming from the breaker to the top. Then the circuit will run from the bottom, and that'll go to our switch. And then we did a pigtail for our ground. You never want to put two into one, so you want to tie your ground together, and then you want to run a pigtail. So we'll get this one installed, put back in place, and then we will run for our next box. So to wire the light switch, we have our power coming in here. We've got a hot, neutral, ground, and then our line going out to our other outlet, which will be a hot, neutral, and ground. So you want to tie the neutral or the ground together, and you're going to put a pigtail, and then you're going to tie the neutral together. Then the hot wire from our fuse in GFCI will go onto the bottom of the switch, and then where we want our power to is going to go to the top of the switch. So let me get those connected, and then we are ready for a test. Okay, so we've just about got it buttoned up. So I have, from my GFCI, I have the black to the gold terminal, the white to the silver terminal. I used a pigtail for the ground. Tie the two grounds together, and then pigtail to the outlet. From there, I run power to my switch. I run the black wire from the GFCI to the bottom of the switch. To our outlet, the black wire to the top of the switch. The two neutral wires, the white wire and the white wire, you tie together. And then the ground wire, you tie together and also use a pigtail to tie into your light switch. So now would be a good time to test it before I go any farther. And I did plug my light into the outlet or the receptacle, and now we are ready to turn on the power. So here it comes. Sparks or arcs. What we want is a green light right here, and green means go. Now, does our switch work? So I'm going to throw the switch, and hopefully we have light. Ooh, look at there. We have light. So if I turn it off, bang, on, off. I can sit here all night. Alright. Which means we have power to our outlet. So the top and bottom should work just as well. So we'll try that one. And voila. Alright. And that, folks, is how I wired this. So I'm going to put the cap on here. Go ahead and plug in my stuff for my lights and heater. Keep things going. Make sure everything's still working fine. And then we will test out the microwave and refrigerator. Okay, so we've got everything capped off and everything's plugged back in. And as you can hear, our heater is running and our light is lighting. Okay, next is to test out whether or not the microwave and the refrigerator work. So basically it's just to take our power cord, plug it into our outlet, turn our switch on, and see if things kick on. So before we do that, as always, I'm going to clean up everything, put everything back in its place, and put all my tools away, vacuum, and then we can run our test, and hopefully everything turns out just fine. We'll throw some water in here, see if it'll heat up. I have not, believe it or not, these two units, refrigerator and microwave, are at least 10 years apart. I purchased this refrigerator probably about a year ago, and the microwave when Walmart had them on sale, man, I bet 10-12 years ago for 25 bucks. I picked one up, sat on my kitchen counter for that long, and they are both the same name brand. So how lucky is that? Hopefully they both work just fine. Let's give it a try. Okay, we're ready to give the test. I have a cup of water here, and before I put it in the microwave, we'll throw the switch, make sure that the refrigerator runs, and then we'll test out the microwave. So I think we're ready. So we do have power going to the microwave. I can't tell if the refrigerator's on. Oh yeah, it's a running. So let's put this in here. I unplugged the heater because I'm not sure if the heater will run with the microwave just yet. So we're just going to do microwave, refrigerator, and let's give it a shot. 2 minutes. It's working. Once I'm satisfied that the microwave works okay with the refrigerator running, once the water's heat up, then we will turn back on the heater, and then we'll try the microwave again. Yesterday, while I was in my garage, trailer's still plugged in, heater's plugged in, I was running my air compressor and probably 2 other tools plugged in, battery charger and such, and it popped the breaker. So we'll see if this continues to work with the heater turned on and microwave running. Oh yeah, nice and hot. See that steam? Sweet. We're in business. Now we will try it again with the heater plugged on. Alright, so refrigerator's running and getting cool. Microwave works. Now what we need to do is make sure our heater works when our microwave is running, and see if this works. We'll know if it doesn't. Things will start popping. And here it goes. "30 seconds left, and everything seems to be working okay. So we'll give that about 20 more seconds. Wait for the bing. Check our water, and then button things up. Well, I think that will conclude this video, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. So we've got some electrical outlets installed, run our wiring, and tested everything a-okay. So now we wait on some parts before we can connect our inverter and our converter, and then once those parts come in, we'll make ourselves some cables and get everything connected, and then we'll do another test with the inverter to see if it'll run the microwave and the refrigerator, which I'm confident it will. So I am happy with the way things have turned out, And yeah, it didn't take that long. The longest part is just planning things out, but once you start doing it, it actually goes pretty quick. So I probably started on this about 1 o'clock and quit about 5:30. Had some breaks in between, and you know, other stuff that I was doing. So within 3.5 hours, coming out here, meddling around, had it all connected and ready to go. So refrigerator's working, I can hear it, and we'll leave that on and see how cold that bad boy gets, and we'll make sure that the heater is turned back on, and I think that's it. So thank you for staying tuned, thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and appreciate all the comments and all you guys hanging in there watching the videos. I really enjoy making the videos, and we've come a long ways. So I can scratch some more off my list. We only have a few items left before we hit the road, or at least the DMV, to try to get this thing licensed. So with that, I'd like to say thank you and stay tuned.